Yo, what's up, everybody? This your boy Big Hawk, aka Aaron Hawkins, and welcome to another episode of My Perspective Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hey, listen, I hope what I say provoke thought. Hope it provokes change also. But listen, if it don't, no harm, no foul. Because at the end of the day, it's just my perspective. Man, I'm glad to see y'all with me one more week. Ready to rock out with y'all again. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button for your boy. Hit that subscribe button. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I need y'all support. Thank y'all for the ones who are supporting me, rocking with me week in and week out, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all just don't know how much I appreciate y'all. But the ones who ain't subscribed yet, ain't gonna hurt you. Ain't gonna hurt you. I know you're listening. Just gonna hit the subscribe button. Do me that favor. Man, I need y'all support. We're trying to grow. Um, we're growing, but hey, every little bit helps. Thank y'all, man, for rocking out with me, man. I really do. I appreciate it. Y'all just don't know how much this means to me. I finally got the courage to do it, and man, I'm happy with what I see. I'm glad to see y'all rocking out with me. I really appreciate that, man. We're going. I guess you can call this part two of who sets the value when it comes to dating and when it comes to relationships. We did a part one, I guess you could say. I'm gonna call this part two. But this episode, we're gonna talk about how we devalue ourselves. We're gonna talk about how we devalue ourselves. Um, I don't think we realize how sacred and how important and how and beautiful like sex is. I don't think we know how sacred sex is. We've taken God's greatest gift, and I'm guilty. So I ain't pointing the finger at nobody. I'm guilty. We as a people have taken God's greatest gift and watered it down to just a hobby. Most of us, we've minimized it to just something to do for a lot of us, um, and a lot of us have just we know it's good, we know how great it is, but we've become addicted to it. But in that addiction, you've devalued yourself in the addiction. I mean, I listen. I've been wrong in all three areas: addiction, a hobby, just something to do. I'm talking to myself as I'm talking to the audience tonight. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat, man. I need y'all comments, man. Y'all talk to me tonight. Um, yeah, man, we really devalue ourselves. We don't realize how much value um, we have by making our bodies sacred. Most of us ain't never some playgrounds. I'm gonna say that again. Most of us, male and female, we ain't number some playgrounds. We ain't number Candyland. That's it. We ain't number Candyland. I'm gonna eat your candy, you gonna eat mine. But we don't know how precious our gifts are when it comes to sex and reproduction. You can look at it a couple of ways. You can look at it um, in its most primitive form: be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth. Kind of like the animals, how they do it. They get in heat. They know it's time to mate. The male find no female. They do their thing. The male skedaddle. The female left to raise the kids, left to raise her young. And typically, they do it in packs. The women pack up and raise the village together, while the male is just out on his own roaming, doing his own thing, um, until it's time to mate again. You have some males who have a harem of females, whether it be the tiger, lion, whether it be the walrus, whether it be whatever. It's just different variations of it, but I'm just saying, like, you have the men, they're primitive, they procreate and that's it. But we're humans. We're the highest form of mammal. We have the most sophisticated way of thinking, in my opinion. I don't read Animal Mind. I don't talk animals, so I don't know. In my opinion, based on how we live versus based on how the animal kingdom lives and operates, I feel like we have the highest, most sophisticated form of communication. So, and according to religion and things like that, um, marriage is sacred and sex is very sacred. But most of us humans, probably 95% of us, if it ain't 98, 99% of us, we don't value marriage or sex as we should. And this is what led me to talk about how we have devalued ourselves. Now, of course, when you're talking to individuals, they're going to express how valuable they are and what an asset they are, and what they bring to the table. But this topic comes up over and over and over and over again. It's the topic of the body count. If that topic wasn't so important, let me repeat that. Let me rephrase what I'm trying to say. If that topic of the body count wasn't so spoken about, because it's so spoken about, that lets you know how we as humans, particularly men, value the woman in her vagina. I think some women do too. However, I think it's safe to say that more times than not, women want to see a man, excuse me, with a little swagger about himself, with a little player in him. They like to see a man with a little bit of player in him. Some of y'all like a man with a lot of player, a lot of swag. He that boy. The girls love him. He, handsome, well dressed. All the ladies love him. Women like that, and and a lot of women go for that type of man. But that type of man come with problems, come with baggage, come with consequences. He gonna be fruitful and multiply. So, but on the flip side, men, us fellas, we a trip because we are very critical of what we contribute to the problem of. I'm gonna say that again. We're very critical of the very topic or subject that we contribute to the problem of. Here at My Perspective Podcast, man, like I say, two things. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a life coach, I'm not a health coach. I'm just an old head with a microphone who done been through some things and got something to say. And when I talk from my experiences and my perspective and what I've seen and what I've been through in life. And I speak a lot from my failures. Hopefully, that my failures and what I've been through can help other people avoid the same things I've been through. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Um, and two, we're more alike than we are different, even though we have our differences. So that's why I'm so keen in trying to point out our differences, even though we are a lot alike, because we do a lot of the same things. Men and women do a lot of the same things. How we communicate, things we say we don't like, but we do the same things. We do the same things to each other that we don't like being done to us. Things like that. However, we have our differences, and this is one of them. Women like playboys. Women like men with game, women like men who got a swag about themselves, who got a charisma about themselves. They don't want no square. They don't want no lame, as we call it, or no simp. They don't want that type of guy. Even though those guys are the best thing probably for him, but because he don't have that charisma, that swag about himself, he ain't stepping right. He ain't dressing right. So they tend to get overlooked. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. But men, we don't care how pretty you are. We don't care. We care about these things, but what I'm saying is when it comes to your body count, that is critical for a man. That's critical for a man. Um, I don't know why. I'm guilty too. I've had my time where I just thought about the body count and just changed my perception of a woman and things like that. Um, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if you right for each other, man, just make it work. You can't judge a person by their past. Um, you can only judge them by y'all present and y'all future together. That's it. So, however, when the person has a checkered past, it's something to look at. Let me say this too: your past, um, if not practicing change behavior, is very indicative of your future because history repeats itself. If you're not um, accountable to yourself about the mistakes you made and exhibit change behavior, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna stay in that cycle you've always been in. So yeah, body count and your past is very critical if you're not changed. And I do believe time brings about a change, but let's be honest, man, sex is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's the best thing God created, next to the black woman, in my opinion. So yeah, it's hard to it's challenging for a lot of us to say I'm cool on that. I'm gonna pass on that. No, I'm okay. I'm straight. I don't want no more. Most of us ain't doing that. Males and females. Most of us ain't doing that. We walk out in public, we go to parties, we go to work, we go to different places, and man, you can feel people looking at you. You can feel people looking at you. Sure can. Sure can. You can feel them looking at you. And then when you catch them looking at you, man, sometimes they be looking at you like you're a piece of meat. Like I say, told my wife, I say, them niggas be looking at you like you're a piece of salmon drizzled in honey. That's how they be looking at you. Man, ready to take a bite out of crime. So yeah, man, we be on it. And we be thinking the wrong things a lot. Males and females. Females just as bad as men. Y'all just as bad as us. Y'all know what y'all want when y'all see it. Y'all know what it is when y'all see it, just like we do. We might want to get to know you, but we want to know that first. A lot more times than not. And this very thinking, thinking with our emotions and not with our logic, this what causes the devaluing of individuals. So yeah, let's talk about it. When a person is promiscuous, man, let's just talk about it. When a person is promiscuous and they've had a lot of sexual encounters, listen, when you're single, you can do what you want to do. In my opinion, if you're single and you love sex, you ain't no hoe, ladies. If you single and you love sex, you ain't committed to nobody, and you date multiple men, you ain't no hoe. That just means you promiscuous. That means you are walking in your sexual freedom, your sexual prowess. That's what it is. That don't make you no hoe, because you're not committed to nobody. A hoe has multiple definitions based on who you're talking to. It just depends on who you're talking to. In my opinion, a hoe is a woman who sell a body. And a whore also is a woman who is in a committed relationship but still have multiple sex partners outside of her committed relationship. To me, that's what makes you a hoe. Those two things there. But if you're single and you just having a good time, you ain't no hoe. You ain't no hoe. And I'm gonna tell y'all another little secret. If you don't tell your business, nobody won't know you're hoeing out here. That's another conversation for another time. We talk too much. Always telling your business. And on that topic, that's one of the main reasons relationships get messed up. Because we tell our business too much. Devaluing each other. When you get so comfortable with an individual that you want to tell him your past sexual escapades, or you want to tell her your past sexual escapades, you just don't know. Your value just went down. Especially for the women. I ain't gonna lie. I've friends on several ladies who I was very interested in relationships because we got really comfortable. We was on that our communication was really good. We had good energy. We got really comfortable with each other, and we started sharing sex stories. Yeah, it turned my stomach. It turned my stomach. I said, dang, dang, I can't do it. I can't do it. She's just my friend now. She's just in the friend zone now. Will I still hit it? Yeah, I still hit it, but wife it? No. Won't make her my lady. Can't make her my lady. I devalued her based on what she told me. I've been devalued based on what I told other individuals. This is what I'm talking about devaluing yourself based on your past. If you want to keep your value high in relationships, don't tell all your business. I'm gonna tell you right now, ladies, a man don't want to know your body count. He don't want to know your sexual escapades and your sex stories. That don't make him more attracted to you. That don't make him more attracted to you. That makes him just want to maybe smash and dash, hit it and quit it. But that don't make him want to be your man. Make you want. That don't make him want to wife you or make you his lady because you done been through the ringer in his mind. Yeah, and it gets worse the older you get. In my mind, I'm 49 years old. In my mind, the women I prefer to date, they 40 and up. When I was dating, my wife 45. In my mind, 40 and up, that thing got 2 million miles of better on it. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. You know why I see it that way? Because that's how I manage my expectations. That sounds harsh, and nobody want to hear that. I get arguments all the time when I say that kind of stuff. However, that's how I manage my expectations. And if you got multiple kids, you know, I ain't too far off. If you got multiple kids with multiple baby daddies, I ain't too far off. I ain't too far off. Does that make you a bad person? No, it don't make you a bad person. Have you made some bad decisions? Of course. Of course, you made some bad decisions. And that you have to own that. When you don't own that type of conversation about yourself, you don't be accountable for that type of you don't have that type of accountability for yourself, that devalues you also. That devalues you also. When you can't be accountable for the decisions that you've made, that brings your value down in a man's eyes and in a woman's eyes. When you're not accountable for your actions, but you're talking all this good talk about what you bring to the table, how big of an asset you are, and you know, and what you can do, and this and that. But you won't be accountable for your mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. The man is just as guilty as the woman when it comes to making kids and the relationship don't work. The woman just look better and deemed the worst in that scenario because she's the primary caregiver. She's the custodial parent. The kids are with her. If the man was a single parent and he had to raise all the kids by himself, then the shoe will be on the other foot. He'll be looked at as, man, whoa, I done ran through and ain't good for nobody because he got all that baggage. It'll be him. But because the woman is the custodial parent, because the child come from her, the child came from her womb, she got to carry that. She's the primary caregiver for the child innately. So when relationships don't work, just own it. Just own it. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Ladies, y'all call us bums and no good so and so's and this and that. But if we such bums and we such bad people and low lights and this and that, how are we able to get you? And what does that say about you if you're so valuable? You're so valuable that you can't see a bum from a mile away. You let a bum finesse you at your cookies. Like, come on now. This is what I mean by not being accountable. Um, do things happen that cause the relationship to strain and cause the relationship to sever? Yeah. That don't mean the man a bum. That just mean y'all didn't work out. That's all it means. Be accountable for your part. The same for the men who got multiple kids scattered all across the place. And just be accountable for your actions. Same thing, and take care of your kids. That's it. If you know how to co-parent, if you learn how to co-parent, it wouldn't be such a problem dating a single mama with kids if her and her baby daddy would co-parent properly. It wouldn't be so bad. But because the man ain't doing his part, he ain't spending his share of the time with the kids. He ain't paying child support on a consistent basis. He's not showing up for the. He's not there. When they're needed, things like that. So all the burden goes on the woman, and then she still want to date. She still want to have a family. She want marriage and things like that. So when she finds somebody who is willing to take on her and her children, that's a plus. However, when she coming with that talking raggedy and reckless, and sometimes you can see why she by herself with all them damn children by herself. Lack of accountability. We got to learn to be accountable. We have to learn to be accountable. When you learn to be accountable, that raises your value in a man's eyes. But most women don't want to be accountable. I posed a question on Facebook. Why is it so hard for women to hold themselves accountable? And I got some real shocking answers from women. One lady in particular, she said, I don't think we know how to. Blew my mind. But that was the realest answer I got from a woman. She said, I don't think we know how to. And she meant it. But that's a problem. That's a problem. You got to be accountable for your actions. You got to be. So when you off dating and you're in relationships and you with a person you really care about and you love and you want to have a life with, and now all of a sudden, all he hearing is this dude done been with you, that dude done been with you, you done been in a threesome with this couple, you done um seen a video on you floating around the internet, all types of crazy stuff. What that person supposed to do with that? He supposed to like not question it? She supposed to like not question it? Same with the men. A woman who really care for you, and she want to build a life with you. She hope you ask her to marry her. She hope you ask her to marry her and all that. But all she hear floating around the streets is, man, Hawk done been this person, Hawk done been on that person, and Hawk done ran a train on blah blah blah. Hawk done been with your friend. Hawk, man, he used to date your cousin. What's she supposed to do with that? How can she like not do anything about that, not question you or want to have a conversation with you about that, or just not want to be with you no more? Period. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is how you devalue yourself because you ain't protect your prized possession. That's your body. That's your body. I know it's cool, man. Sex beautiful. It's very beautiful, man. I ain't gonna even hold you. Love it. I'm talking to myself because I'm guilty. I'm very guilty. I ain't protect nothing. I'm the person I'm talking about. I'm him. I'm that person. I did all that crazy stuff, you know. But I'm reflecting now, and I'm seeing like, hey, I could have had way more better had I had certain standards. Just being just being honest. I would have had better had I had certain standards. Yeah. I did this one girl, I ain't gonna call her name because I know she married now, got a family and doing well. So I ain't gonna call her name. However, I dated this girl who was in high school and she was a beautiful girl, but she wasn't no popular chick. She was quiet. She had those traditional values. Her parents were traditional family, beautiful family, man, and they were black. That's what shocked me. Beautiful family. Um, Man, and she wasn't with the sex right out the gate. Like she wasn't giving it up, but she was crazy about me. She was crazy about. I took her to prom and everything. She was crazy about me, but I wouldn't stick around. She wasn't giving that nookie up. But she stayed true to who she was. She stayed true to who she was. And the guy who married her, he got a gym. He got a gym. If I ain't mistaken, they still married to this day. That's been over 20 something years ago. He got a gym. But she had standards about herself. And she stayed true to her standards and her core beliefs. And she got a good situation. She got a good situation. Now, I don't know if they got problems with their marriage. I don't know them like that anymore. Like me and her, we never communicated after we broke up. I know of her husband, but I don't know that man like that. We don't talk, so I don't know this situation. As far as I know, they're doing fantastic. I know he's a successful man. He's a successful businessman. I don't know what she's doing, but as far as I know, he's a successful businessman. They're doing great. But she had standards that she maintained. Her value was high. Her value was high. And she got a great situation because she stayed true to her morals and her principles and her values set forth by her parents. Me, on the other hand, not so much. Deceitful, manipulating, uh, using, abusing, getting used and abused. Because my standards weren't high. Man, I had sex for the first time. That shit was like crack cocaine. I was trying to get that same high. And the high wasn't quite the same no more. I've been trying to get that same high ever since. Now I'm slowing down now because I'm older than what? Older than what? So yeah, when you start having sex, 14, 15, 16 years old, it's one thing that you made a mistake, you ain't do it no more till you got married. I get that. You made a mistake. Somebody probably tricked you, you know what I'm saying? Manipulated you, coerced you, whatever the case may be. But you keep doing it, devalue. Now, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Just because you devaluing yourself or someone devalued you by, you know, checking your virginity against your will or something like that, that don't mean you can't have no relationship. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But when I'm talking about when a man really want to get to know a woman and then he find out she has a ton of sex partners, he's less likely to make you his lady. He'll sex you. He'll sex you. He'll love on you, but he won't stay in bed with you because in the back of his mind, you damaged good, i.e., devalued. That value ain't there no more. This is why I'm particularly talking about this topic tonight because I see it, and like I say, the reason for the podcast is because we in a gender war. All you hear is body count, body count, body count, body count, body count. You got the women talking about they the prize and what they bring to the table. You got the men talking about if you the prize, why you got 3 unsuccessful relationships and all you got to show for is children out the deal. You see what I'm saying? Um, The men's want they the prize. What I'm saying, if you the prize, why you ain't making six figures? Why you broke? You know what I'm saying? All this old crazy stuff. But the real issue at the end of the day, men put they women on a pedestal. We put our ladies on the pedestal. When we get with you and we make you wifey, guess what? Man, you're a queen. You blemish free in our mind. You're pure, you know, to a high degree. You ain't totally pure because you might got some kids, but in our mind, if you got two kids, you only had sex twice. You see what I'm saying? This how we like to think about our ladies. Um, and we create these unrealistic expectations, and we dehumanize you. And you know, it's not on purpose. It's not for malicious intent. It's because we see you in such high esteem when we meet you because you've done something good to us or for us, or that energy is so great that our union is effortless. It's easy to talk to you. It's easy to love you. It's easy to do for you, and vice versa. So we put you on a pedestal. We put you in high regard. But as time goes on, or y'all get real comfortable, and y'all start sharing those crazy ass sex stories. I'm guilty of it too, so I ain't pointing the finger. I'm guilty of it too, and I break my own. I broke my rule several times. Want to hear that shit? I don't. But you get real comfortable in talking, and then you go to sharing. But when the women go to sharing, but for whatever reason though, maybe y'all can help me out with this in the chat. Help me out with this. Why are women less moved by a man's body count and a man's sexual escapades than men are? Because men are shook by that. More men are shook by the body count of a woman, especially when he like you, especially when he wants you to be his lady, like his lady, like he'll put a ring on it. But to know, man, you done been with 100 niggas, man, that changed the game. And then when he's stupid enough, and we all are, me included, when he's stupid enough to ask you how many people you've been with, you tell him five, but it's really like 25. So and he mortified. He's sick on the stomach. Man, we be sick on our stomach when we hear y'all talk this crazy stuff. That's why y'all get friends on. That's why you get friends on. A no zone one, ozone, the be gone, or whatever you want to call it. It's why. Because when he hear that body count, and he start hearing all these sex stories about you and these different men, it's one thing to have a bunch of stories about you and your one person, but it's a whole other story. You can have these episodes about different people in every episode. Devalue, devalue. But we bring it on ourselves. We bring it on ourselves by running our mouth. All that chirping. We don't gotta talk all the time. Ain't none of your business who I've been with. Ain't none of my business who you've been with. And if a person, in my opinion, if a person asks you that, you tell them we're not gonna talk about that. And vice versa. If women want to know your, maybe we ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna even go there. No, let's not talk about that. That changes things, man. It changes things. I know curiosity killed the cat, but sometimes we gotta kill curiosity, man. Especially when it comes to that, because I was in a relationship, um, and this girl, man, I was head over heels with this girl. I mean, head over heels for her. She was my angel. I was foaming. I didn't think she could do no wrong. I didn't think she could do no wrong. Got real comfortable. We began to share. We began to share. And one thing about it, ladies, when we get to sharing our stuff, that don't mean we want to hear your stuff. But y'all get so comfortable in hearing us talk, you feel like, oh, I guess it's okay for me to share too. And you begin to share. And we don't tell you, oh, I want to hear that. We'll listen, but we're not mind. Man, I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear that. So as we listen, we like, dang. I be holding our stomach. Dang, dang. It just like, dang. She human, just like me. Boy, that's fucked up. Damn. I thought she was an angel, but she was just like me. She was telling her stories, and she was none but a savage. She was a real dead savage. You couldn't tell it by looking at her, but she got that comfortable with telling me some of her stories. That joker was a savage. I was sick on my stomach. You hear me? Sick on my stomach. So yeah, ladies, we don't want to hear that crap. I mean, there's exceptions to the rule. You got guys that okay with it, but most guys ain't okay with it. Just listen. Just get on YouTube. Just get on here. Get on these different platforms and listen to these men talk. So I ain't lying about what I'm saying. Body count is important to a man. However, fellas, I don't think it should be so important if you contributing to the problem. If a woman with a high body count is that important to you, start hitting and quitting it. Don't sleep with a woman unless that's your lady. How about that? Because think about it. You may see that woman she's not girlfriend material. She's not wife material. So you're just going to play around with her. But the woman you like, who you want to be with, is some man seen her just like you seen that other woman. They just played with her. They just used her up, finessed her, and threw her ass in the trash. Now here you come. You think she the best thing since sliced bread. You want a wife. But guess what? She is. For you. She's the best thing since sliced bread for you. She fit the need of you. She answered your prayers. She fixed the problem that no one else could fix. She is the best thing for you. So you can't let that outside distraction, that outside noise, change your vision or your views of that woman. That's the tender dick inside us men. That's that tender dick inside us men. It's okay, but you gotta see that just a distraction. As long as it don't affect what y'all got going on, what y'all finna build, or what y'all building, who cares? At the end of the day, man, it's just sex. At the end of the day, it's just sex. Now, if she's just having sex while y'all in a relationship, oh no, oh no, oh hell no, no, that's a different story. That's a different story. But if it's before your time, and it don't affect you now, then let that be what it's gonna be. Let that be what it's gonna be. But I'm just bringing it up so we can see how we're looked at when we share our sexual intimacies with the opposite sex. Because we don't want to hear that shit. I'm quite sure women don't want to hear it either. I know for a fact men don't want to hear that unless he's just trying to play with you a little bit. If he's just playing, he don't care either way. If he ain't got no intentions of making you his lady, he can give. He don't give a care. He can care less. But I'm talking about trying to build a union, create a relationship, create a bond with this person. Yeah, that's gonna affect him. That's gonna affect him seriously more times than not. It's gonna affect the woman too, but for whatever reason, y'all tolerant level is way higher than ours, especially when it comes to sex, especially when it comes to um, a man's past versus a woman's past. I know some highly promiscuous women when they were younger, gotten older, matured, got some sense about themselves, and they're great wives to this day. Same with the men. Just hoes, man. Just snipers. I'm talking about snipers. Met that one that he wanted to do right by. Man, I ain't sniped since. So it can happen. But if you that sensitive to it, this is how you devalue. This is how you devalue the individual. Because I mean, no, I don't want to. I don't give a care. I don't want to hear it. Me personally, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. If you got kids, I know you're shaking something. That's all I need to know. Anything outside of that, man, I don't want to hear it. Keep that to yourself. Keep it to yourself. And if you insist on talking about it, devalue. You losing value with me. I don't value you as much as I once did because you just insist on telling me your backstory. Want to hear that? Devalue. This how men think, ladies. This how men think. I know y'all can give me a rebuttal and say, well, so what if he can't take it, he don't deserve me. I get it. I get it. But guess what though? It's 8-1 out here. He got options now. He got options. And believe it or not, ladies and men, black women are the toughest group of women to 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 deal with when it comes to dating. Because black women don't feel like they have to compete. But guess what? There's a small percentage that are competing. There's women who have grew up, matured, and they know what they want, and they know what it takes to get what they want, and they're getting it. They're getting it because they're using their superpowers. So, for everybody who ain't willing to compete, for everybody who ain't willing to use their superpowers, there's some that are. And they winning. I told my wife this just the other day. I said, the two types of women that are winning out here are the hoes and the women who are using their superpowers. Walking and standing and using their femininity and their wisdom that God gave them. Them two types of women, they winning. Hoes winning because guess what? They listen. And hoes are your therapists. Hoes are therapists. They like to have fun. They stroke your ego, but they also listen and give you great advice. They just don't want no commitment. They just want to fucking have a good time, and that's it, with no commitment, no strings attached. So they have all the fun. Now, when they go home by themselves at night, they may be a little hurt, maybe, but when it comes to like having a good time, getting their needs met, being taken care of, they winning, and that's why, because they listening, they're stroking the man's ego, um, um, they're pulling on his best attributes, his best assets, and they make him feel like a man. They stroke his ego. You boss chicks, I ain't doing none of that. Y'all ain't doing none of that. That's why y'all lonely. With the majority of y'all. That's why y'all by yourself. That boss chick shit sound good. Man, that's a tough road to hoe. If you ain't humble, and that woman who's using her superpower, I call it, her femininity, she winning too. Because guess what? When she using that her femininity, stroking that man ego, um, encouraging him, telling him he's we gonna make it, telling him, speaking to the king in him, guess what that make him do? He gonna bring her every thought, every problem, everything he got. He gonna run about her first. And guess what? She gonna put her input in. Then guess what? Because he trusts and loves her so much, because he confides in her, he can rest assured that he's safe in her arms. Whatever she say goes. He gonna do whatever she say, whatever she suggests. I would say, yeah, because of her superpowers. But y'all want to just talk about your past and how you should do it, and you hunching on this dude, you loving on this dude. Devalue. Y'all just gonna be a cool homegirl or what you call it, a friend with benefits. That's just it. We're getting too old for that. I'm speaking to my generation. We're getting too old for that. We're getting too old for that. I know as men, the closer we get to 50, the more we want to settle down. The more we want to take them Christmas photos. The more we want to have them ugly pajama pictures, them ugly sweater pictures. The more we want to dress alike. The more we want to take those trips and those cruises and those flights with our person, not just with a random. We want to build the older we get. When you're young, man, we having fun. What I'm saying right now to a young person, they can care less. Most of them. But the older ones, man, we see. We see the writing on the wall. We see time ticking. And we want to make the most of the rest of our life. I'm talking to us, the ones who want that. So yeah, stop devaluing yourself. Ain't none of that man business who you been with. Hopefully, the streets, your name don't precede you in the streets. Because if that's the case, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You're gonna get you somebody from out of town. Are you gonna have to move? I go for the men too. So yeah, stop telling all your business. Put your best foot forward and be genuine and authentic. Be accountable. Be accountable. We all got shortcomings. Just own your shit. Just own what you done been through. It's okay. A man gonna respect you more. He gonna look at you different. He gonna hold you in high esteem and high regard. But don't tell him all your business. No, he don't even know you been with Tom, Dick, Harry, Larry, Gary, Tim, Bob, Kiki. Now he don't even know all that. Same with the ladies, like men. Man, she don't even know you been with Monica, Tasha, uh, Rhonda, Linda, Mary, Sue, Betty, Bertha. You know all that. Because that's not going to affect your relationship. That's your past. But don't relive it and don't tell everybody your business. You're going to get farther in relationship that way if you do that. I'm just saying. This is my perspective. If this don't work for you, no harm, no foul. But I hope you hear and I hope it resonates, man, because I'm telling you, more times than not, men do not want to hear about your past. I know women don't want to hear it either, but they're more accepting of it than men are. Men are not very accepting of that. So just think, it's something to think about. It's something to think about. I brought it up because I was thinking about it, and I thought about my last several relationships, and the topic came up every time. And I made, I made two of them significant, but I'm married now. Um, but man, none of that shit lasted. None of it worked. We don't want to hear it. And that's one of the main reasons that's causing devalue. There's other reasons, but that's the main reason. A close second, running that mouth, talking shit. I don't supposed to be cussing like that, but talking shit. No respect, just reckless with the mouth, just be wild and no, devalue. You're gonna be looked at as less than, and you're gonna be kicked to the curb if you ain't already left before things got started. I'm trying to tell you, lying, just lying for no reason. I'm talking about white lies, the major lies. Just be lying. Devalue, devalue. You can't trust no liar. I ain't finna trust you with shit. If you lie about everything you do, all you gonna be is a hitter. All you gonna be is a hitter. $5 swallow. That's all you gonna be. Yeah, man. These are things that devalue you, men and women. This is what devalues a person. You can have a great heart. You can be gainfully employed. You can have a great future. But man, if these things get in your way, devalue. Don't nobody want to put up with that. I don't care how secure that man gonna make you or have you. I don't care how secure that woman gonna have you. I don't care how far you can advance your future. Y'all might try to put up with it, but it's gonna be short lived, or you're gonna create more problems. Sneaking outside the relationship, shit like that, it's gonna cause more problems. So yeah, learn how not to devalue yourself. Learn how not to devalue yourself. You can't help what society thinks about you, or what society deems you as. If we're in the area where big girls winning, I don't care how many BBLs y'all get. The big girls gonna get precedent. They gonna get first option because this is the area for the big girls. If we're in the area where the BBLs is where it's at, I don't care about the natural bodies. I love a natural body. I prefer a natural body. But if BBL is a thing in the area, guess what? Natural body's gonna take second fiddle. You have no control over that. But what you do have control over what come out your mouth, how you carry yourself, how you move. These are the things you control, and these are the things that add value or take value away from you. Think about that. That's the episode for tonight, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. It's your boy Big Hawk, aka thank y'all for tuning in, man. Till next week, love y'all.